Hey, Basha, anybody there from support team? Basha, Harish, Basha, anybody there from support team? Support team.
Hi Mahesh, this is Deepak from support team.
Deepak, actually, I could not share my desktop. Could you please check
Yeah,
host list?
can you just share it now? I already made a co-host.
Oh, yeah, thank you, thank you. Okay, good evening and good morning to all of you. So just a recap of what we have done from the last few classes. Okay, just I'll put out all the headings. Okay, so we have done with what is SAP HANA database. In this SAP HANA database, we discussed about okay, in memory database, and we also discussed about columnar storage, and we discussed about what is parallelization and partitioning, and these are the various aspects we have discussed about SAP HANA. Okay, the concept of SAP HANA. So to bring about all these things into three things. Okay, so the main advantages is nothing but why should I go for SAP S4 HANA means one is the main advantages because of having the in-memory database SAP HANA. And the second one is very important. Actually, we are discussing. We discussed about the simplification. Okay, because of the simplification, SAP S4 HANA simplification. Now, now simplification in the sense is nothing but now a lot of changes have been happened from the SAP ECC to SAP S4 HANA. Now we have seen about the simplifications. Now in the coming classes, we are going to discuss what is the simplifications and everything. And the last but not the least, okay, we have the very powerful tool which is going to be called as the SAP Fiori. SAP Fiori. And I discussed about what is SAP Fiori, and we have one or two classes on the SAP Fiori also. In the last session, I discussed about the concepts of the SAP Fiori, how the Fiori look likes. Okay, so how to get logged with the Fiori, what are the different apps are available, like analytical app, transactional app, fact sheet app. We have discussed about various Fiori apps. Okay, which is the front end using nothing but which is going to be called as the front end device for us, which can be connected to your laptop, which can be connected to your iPad, which can be connected to your phones through the OData. There is a concept called the OData, which is the interface between your backend to the front end. Front end is nothing but your SAP Fiori. Backend is nothing but your SAP Core, S4 Core. We call it as the S4 Core. So Fiori. Okay, so because of these three reasons, okay, one is with SAP HANA as an underlying database. Now all the process have been simplified. Now various tables have been deleted and they have been simplified into unified universal general entry table. And we have the SAP Fiori. SAP Fiori is the tool which is with the front end tool we are going to be using, which is the front end tool we are going to be using for the posting of day-to-day transaction, for doing the customization, configurations, everything over here. So this is about the concept we are discussed about SAP HANA. And also we are discussed about very important concepts of transition scenarios. Okay, the deployment options. There are three deployment options are there. One is SAP S4 HANA on-premise, SAP S4 HANA cloud, and we discussed about SAP S4 HANA hybrid. These are the three deployment options are there. On-premise, a separate license which is called as a traditional licensing, or cloud is going to be called as a subscribed license, and hybrid is the combination of both on-premise and the cloud. And this is the second part we discussed. This is the chapter number 1 we have done with, and this is the chapter number 2 we have done with, and this is the chapter number 3. All these three comes under the chapter number 3 we have done. And the chapter number 4, what we have done here is the chapter number 4 consists of, we have discussed about the transition scenarios. We have discussed about the transition scenarios. Okay, how many types of transition scenarios are there? There are 3 transition scenarios are there. Okay, one is system conversion, What is the system conversion? It is called as a brownfield implementation. Brownfield means when an existing customer, okay, they want to convert the existing ECC system to the SAP S/4HANA system conversion. And the second one is greenfield implementation. Second one is greenfield implementation, which is called as which is going to be called as a new implementation. We call it as a new implementation. And the third one is going to be called as a landscape transformation. Landscape transformation. So these are all the three. These are the 4 chapters we have discussed. So till here we have done with the sessions. Okay. So till the last. Okay. What is SAP HANA? What is the various deployment options? Okay. What are the 3 different aspects of SAP S/4 HANA, and what are the transition scenarios in SAP S/4 HANA? The transition scenarios are nothing but these are the transition scenarios. See, this is the last class what we have discussed about the various conversion paths, about the transition scenarios into the SAP S/4 HANA. Whether I want to go with SAP S/4 HANA conversion, whether I want to go with a new greenfield implementation, whether I want to go for the landscape transformation. As I discussed during last session also. So if an existing customer is there who is already with SAP ECC box, okay, they have been using the SAP from last 10 years. Now, based on the new simplifications of SAP S/4 HANA, now they want to go with SAP S/4 HANA with on-premise, then the system conversion is the best choice for them. The system conversion is the best choice for them. I should not suggest to go for the greenfield implementation. Why? Because they already been taken a license of SAP ECC. They're already been into the SAP ECC from many years. Lot of data is there in the SAP, like in the Oracle database or maybe in another database. So instead of going with the greenfield implementation, the production box, I will convert to SAP S/4 HANA. Okay, that is called as a system conversion. So this is one project actually. This is the kind of project where we can call it as a conversion project. Like we have several projects are there. Like we have when we go for SAP greenfield implementation is the one project. Support is the AMS project. Okay. Third one is a rollout project. Fourth one is going to be called as upgrade project. Upgrading from the existing version to the next version. That is the upgrade project. In the same way, we have a new project called a system conversion project, which is called as a migration project. When we call it as a migration project, this conversion is happening from ECC system to SAP S/4 HANA system. So that project we call it as a system conversion. That project we call it as a system conversion. So in this system conversion, we had to follow the SAP roadmap. Definitely, we had to follow the methodology. What methodology we are going to be using called as the activate methodology. Activate methodology. Okay, there is a new methodology which is the successor of ASAP methodology. If you go back to your ECC, we are using a methodology called as ASAP methodology. I think many people know about this concept. ASAP methodology, accelerated SAP methodology we are using. Now there is a new methodology called as successor of ASAP methodology. We are going to be calling it as activate methodology. Activate methodology. This is the new methodology in our SAP S/4 HANA from today onwards. Okay, so we have to use the methodology. We have to use the roadmap. Okay, roadmap contains the different phases, how to start the project and how to end the project. In each and every phase, what activities we had to perform. Every phase is there actually. So we need to follow such a roadmap with the different phases. So we have the roadmap. Sir?
Hey Mahesh,
Sir?
this is Venkat here. Hello.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah, regarding that activate methodology, what are the steps involved in activate methodology?
We are coming, sir. We are coming. Just I'm putting the overview today. So we are coming one by one, step by step.
All right.
Yeah. We have 5 phases. We discuss about all the, we are going to discuss about all the phases. I'm going to show live in the SAP roadmap tool directly.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. So this is the conversion project. Next one is called as a greenfield implementation. In this, in this conversion project, okay, when you come to the conversion project, so it is a completely quite opposite. It's a completely quite opposite. The other side of the coin is going to be called as a greenfield implementation. So I'm telling that Conversion project is completely different. A consultant who is experienced in the conversion project, okay, he cannot work on the greenfield implementation. A greenfield implementation consultant who has a very good experience cannot have an exposure on the conversion project. So this both are completely different projects. Actually, we cannot club into one. So it is called as a brownfield implementation, which is called as a system migration project. This is a new implementation called as a greenfield implementation project. So when I come to the conversion here, now the very important thing is nothing but what are the steps which are going to be involved. So this is the roadmap. So when I come to the conversion, this is what exactly the steps which I have to involve. There are two phases are there. One is going to be called as a preparation phase. Second one is going to be called as a realization phase. Only two phases are there in the conversion project. When I call it as a migration, okay, in the put in other term, it is called as a migration project. So there are only two phases are there. One is going to be called as a preparation phase. The preparation phase is very, 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 very important. Okay, before we go for the realization, the preparation phase contains about the system requirements. First of all, I need to concentrate on the system requirements. I'll discuss all these things. And the second one is we had to use the maintenance planner is a one tool, which is going to be very, very important tool to check your complete system add-ons or anything about, and the pre-checks, which are very, very important to check your system consistency, and the custom code preparation. The custom code preparation is nothing but now we are moving from the old code to the new coding. Okay, so how to do this custom code conversion? This is very, very important. Actually, all the steps are going to be called as a preparation phase. Once your system is ready with the conversion, yes, now I had done all the preparation, then I will hand over my system to my basis consultant. Now the basis consultant, what he will do the realization where he can convert, where he is going to convert my ECC system to SAP S/4HANA system. That is called as a realization phase. So I'll discuss all these things one by step by step. We'll discuss about that all this. So these are only the two phases are there in the conversion. Very, very important. One is the preparation phase, and the second one is going to be called as a realization phase. These are only the two phases we are going to be having. So before I just want to convert my system to SAP ECC to SAP S/4HANA. Yes. What are the required? So SAP is very clearly telling that there is a conversion guide is there. Please follow the conversion guide. This is a very, very important. Just like if you go for SAP S/4HANA block, okay, you have a SAP conversion guide is there. Okay, you can download the guide and you can go through the guide. This is very, very important. This guide is going to explain us about the conversion process before you go for the realization. Before you go for the realization, what are the conversion aspects we have to do? I'll explain in the theoretical everywhere because this is completely technical, where the basis consultants are going to do, and there is the financial aspects are also there. What are the financial aspects we have to concentrate on those? I'll explain all this in the coming classes. We have a classes on the conversion project also. Okay, we are going to discuss everything. So there is going to be called as a conversion guide. Okay, conversion guide is very, 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 very important. In that conversion guide, it is going to give all the information about the system conversion from the SAP ECC to SAP S/4HANA. So this is the diagram. I've just blot it out. Okay, so this is a thing where I want to discuss on this. So whenever I want to go for the conversion from SAP to SAP S/4HANA, what are the major things we have to concentrate? Very, very important. So first one is, the foremost important thing is your system should be on SAP ECC system. Very, very important. Your system should be on SAP ECC, Enterprise Central Component with 6.0 release. Very, very important. Once again, the first most important thing is your system should be on SAP ECC 6.0 with EHP package. Yeah, Priya, you can you can unmute and you can talk to me. Priya, you can unmute.
Yeah, Mahesh, I'm not able to see your screen.
Huh? Oh my God.
I'm not able to see your screen. Are you sure? I mean, I'm not able to see the screen.
Is it everybody is the same concern?
No, we can see your screen right there.
No,
I can see it.
yeah, I can see. Yeah, I was able to see your screen actually, Mahesh.
Okay, Priya. Hey, Harish or Deepak, anybody there in the support team? Harish, support team.
Mahesh, now it's coming. I'm able to see you.
Oh, okay. Okay. Now it's clear? Yeah.
Now it's
I-
clear. Thank you.
Yeah, okay, thank you very much. So your system should be on SAP ECC 6.0 and the EHP, the enhancement package should be from 0 to 7. Now 8 is also there. So your minimum enhancement package should be 0 to 8. This is very, very important. Make sure that your enhancement, that you have a latest enhancement package 7 or 8, which is very, very important. Why? Because new asset accounting is the mandatory. New asset accounting, classic asset accounting will not work for the conversion. I'll tell you what is the reason behind that. So this is the first requirement. And the second one is your SAP, your database. When coming to the database, very, very important, your database should be your SAP HANA database only. Very, very important. Your SAP database should be with HANA database. Now we have the latest database version called as a 2.0. 2.0. Third one is solution manager. Solution manager is very, very important actually for the SAP readiness check, which is very, very important. Solution manager should be with 7.52. Now we have latest version called as 7.52 version is there. So these are the three major important aspects before I had to do the system conversion. If a customer want to go for the system conversion from SAP to SAP S/4HANA, first of all, we need to take care whether he is on SAP ECC system or not. Whether if he's an SAP ECC system, what enhancement package is going to be using, which is very, very important. And the second one is, the most important thing is whether he is on suite on SAP or whether he is on SAP business suite on HANA. Okay, if he's an SAP business suite on HANA, we don't have any problem. Why? Because his SAP ECC application is on HANA database. So directly I can do the conversion. So make sure that your database always should be your SAP HANA database before I do the conversion to the SAP ECC to SAP S/4HANA. For SAP readiness check, I need the solution manager. Because as a prerequisite, we are going to call as the SAP readiness check. This SAP readiness check is the tool we are going to be using, which is very, very important actually. So this is the tool we are going to be using. I discuss more on the SAP readiness check in the coming classes. So just I'll show one diagram. This is the SAP readiness check. We call it as SAP S/4HANA readiness check. Okay. Before I do the system conversion to the SAP ECC to SAP S/4HANA, first of all, I need to do the readiness check. For this readiness check, solution manager is very, very important. If I don't have the solution manager, I cannot do the SAP readiness check. The solution manager is very, very important for this. So what this SAP readiness check is going to do, I just enlarge it, okay, just for the visibility for all the, okay, for all. This SAP readiness check is going to do all these aspects. One is custom code and the custom development. What are all the custom codes you have been developed earlier in ACC? You have written a lot of program. You have gone through a lot of RICEFs, workflows, interface, enhancement, forms like this. You have done a lot of RICEFs. Okay, so you have done a lot of development in the SAP ECC. Now, the lot of changes have been happened between the SAP ECC to SAP S/4HANA. Like coding changes have been happened. We have done a lot of simplifications now. So the program coding has been simplified in such a way that there is a lot of differences there between the SAP ECC to SAP S/4HANA. Now this custom code is very, very important actually. Custom code, it is a tool where we are going to be using to analyze with respect to the SAP S/4HANA complaints, whether whatever the developments you have done, okay, whether the custom code is compatible to the SAP S/4HANA as per the new language or not. That is going to be done by the SAP custom code. Okay, we'll discuss. I'll discuss all these things. Second one is simplification items. Lot of simplifications happen now. When you come to the asset accounting major, I'll come to the GL, general ledger, and the asset accounting. Before and after, lot of simplifications have been happened. Lot of tables have been removed. Now there are no aggregate tables. There are no induction tables. There are no group tables. There are no total tables. Now all the tables, means all the index tables and the aggregate tables have been removed. Now there is only one table. We are calling it as a ECDOCA table. which is called as a simplification item table, which is also called as the universal general entry table. Like a lot of simplifications have been happened, not only from the table level, from the process level also simplifications have been happened. Whether these simplifications are going to have any impact on the existing process or the new process, we need to check it out. Okay, so simplifications is one of the most important topic. We'll discuss that. Like we have several add-ons earlier. Hey Mahesh, we have an add-on called as the CRM, SRM. We have different add-ons are there. Before I want to go for the conversion, could you please check whether these add-ons are compatible after the conversion or not? So these add-ons like CRM, customer relation management, supplier relation management, there are different add-ons are there. We are going to be having different add-ons. I need to check whether these business functions or the third-party add-ons had to be checked for the compatibility with SAP S/4HANA. Very, very important. Next one, sizing is very, very important. Earlier, I'm using SAP ECC. Now I'm going for SAP S/4HANA. The sizing of the application is very, very important. The sizing is a completely technical part, but let me put out some words on that, okay, in the coming classes. Next one is, what are the recommended Fiori apps which are required for your business process? I told in the last class, line of business concept. Line of business. What is the line of business? If I go for a implementation, if I study the company, for an automobile, there is a separate line of business. For manufacturing, there is a separate line of business. If I go to the service industry, there is a separate line of business. If I go for the media, there is a separate line of business. So what are all the recommended Fiori apps according to your line of business? So SAP is going to suggest you, these are the Fiori apps which are required for your line of business. For finance, these are the Fiori apps. For sales and distribution, these are the Fiori apps. For material management, these are the Fiori apps. So it is a recommended from the SAP side if I go with the line of business concept. So this readiness check is the tool which is very, very important actually, which I had to be get executed, which is a very, very important tool. Without the SAP readiness check, I cannot start the conversion project. So this is the readiness check. This is the one, and there is a note has been released from the SAP from the readiness point of view. I also brought the note for you, all of you. This is the SAP readiness check note. Please make a note of this. The note number is 229062. Very, very important. Please make a note of this. If you have a pen and paper or something like, please make a note. 229062. So this note is going to give the complete about the understanding what is the SAP S/4HANA readiness check with the conversion project actually. So this is going to give. So this is what exactly we discussed, that custom code impact with regarding to the reference enhancements and the modifications, SAP HANA S/4HANA sizing, and recommended Fiori apps to replace the existing transactions. Okay, a lot of existing transactions have been removed now, which has been converted to the Fiori apps. So it will give the list of all the Fiori apps now, relevant simplification items, okay, business process analytics, data volume management like database, okay, business warehouse extractors. These all are going to be as a part of your SAP S/4HANA readiness check. These are going to be coming. So this will be explained. This is a completely technical. I can surely tell that 90% of the concepts are going to be a technical. Okay, so who is going to do this aspect? This is the duty which will be done by your technical team, not by the functional aspect. It's very, very important. SAP readiness check is the tool which is going to be executed by your technical team. That is your basis team, not by you or not by any other. Very, 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 very important concept. So I'll also share this note with you, but anyhow, we are going to discuss on this SAP readiness check also. Before that, I'll give this information. So there are some steps are there which needs to be get executed. Okay, what are all the steps which has to be executed for the SAP readiness check? Okay, so these are the 13 to 14 steps are there. So we have to work on, okay, these are the steps where the basis peoples are going to work on this. So this is one of the concept.
So what's the level of understanding we should have with respect to
exactly. That is a very good question actually. What is the level of understanding here is nothing but first one is custom code, second one is simplification items, and the third one is going to be called as the recommended Fiori apps. And what are all the transactions which are going to. So I'm going to discuss all these things in our classes. So when you come to the sizing, when you come to the business functions and add-ons, so this is not our part from the function point of view. Okay, so we are mostly concentrating on the custom code, simplification. What are the simplification items? What are all the transactions which are available earlier? What are the transaction codes which are not available right now? For example, in the last class when we are discussing about the Fury, I told that now the house bank, managing of house banks, earlier we are supposed to do with FI12 is the transaction code. Now that FI12 is the transaction code is not available in our SAP S4HANA. We had to get executed from the SAP Fury app. So like this, what are all the transactions which are available in the right now? What are all the transactions which are not available? What are all the transactions have been moved to the Fury? This all comes under the transaction. And what are all the recommended Fury apps which for the business process? So from the function point of view, you should have an idea about all these 3, 4, okay? So these all the things are going to be explained in the SAP Readiness Check. This is what exactly, before I just want to do the conversion, this is the simplification item, the example I'm just showing here. So simplification item is a tool. Okay, so simplification, okay, the basis consultants, what they will do, they will execute the simplification item as a tool. Okay, so they will check about, okay, they will check about what are all the items have been simplified, what are all the new items have been modified from the existing to the new business process. So all the things which will be displayed as a part of your SAP simplification log. This is the log actually. So this is the output log. The system will display you the log. So in this log, okay, which will be very, very important. If you are going to see in a red color, this is the impacted one. Very, very important. If you see in a yellow color, these are going to be taken action. If it is not like example, okay, to be taken action is nothing but, okay, it is not a showstopper for the conversion, but you should put an I because it is a warning for you, whether if it is required or not required, you have to do the analytical, okay? If it is a completely showing with a green color, this is actually green color only. If it's showing as a green color means it is a successful because all the simplification items are successful where you can do the conversion from SAP ECC to SAP S4HANA. But these simplification items which are showing in a red color completely which are going to be called as a showstopper, this has to be analyzed and this has to be fixed over here before you go for the conversion. Very, very important. So I'll discuss all these things. I'll discuss when I come to the simplification part. I'll discuss all these things. So this is one of the this is one of the example which I've been showing on my desktop. Okay, so this is very, very important. So this is about the conversion. Okay, so this is about the overview on the conversion before I just want to do from SAP ECC to SAP S4HANA. Very, very important. I told that SAP S4HANA, if you want to go for the conversion, the underlying database should be a SAP HANA 2.0. Now I'm getting a doubt. What is the doubt? You are telling that the specific reason of having the system performance, the system requirement is SAP 6.0. Now, there are some existing customers are there, Mr. Mahesh. Okay, there are some existing customers still they are into the SAP 4.7 now. Still they are in SAP 4.7. If I take some customers, still they are into the 4.7. But your requirement is SAP ECC 6.0. Now, if I take these customers, if I take these customers, so these customers are not compatible to do the conversion. Yes, I tell that these are not the compatible customers. I cannot convert from 4.7 EE to ECC 6.0. Then they have to go with the greenfield implementation. No, there is alternative path is there for them. First of all, what I will do here is nothing but, first of all, I will upgrade your system. First of all, this is there are two projects are going to be involved in this. First, what I will do, I will upgrade your system first of all. Upgradation project. I will upgrade your system to SAP ECC 6.0. First, I will upgrade your system to SAP ECC 6.0. Then I'll ask them to do the thorough, and this I will do only at the year-end closing activity completion, not in the mid of the year. Very, very important. This upgradation I will only do at the year-end closing activities are completed. Once you complete your year-end closings, this is a certification question to all of you. Once I done the year-end closings, once I do the year-end closing, then only I can do the upgrade your system from 4.7 EE to ECC 6.0. Now why? Because new GL accounting concept has been introduced from the SAP ECC 5.0 to ECC 6.0. Now Flagel Flexa tables have been introduced. So a lot of data structures have been changed from 4.7 to like 6.0. So I need a thorough testing before I start doing the conversion. So first aspect is, first you have to do the upgrade. This upgrade I will do only once you complete the year-end closing activity. Once you tell that year-end closing activities have completed, you hand over the system to us. We will do the conversion. Sorry, I will do the upgradation from SAP 4.7 to ECC 6.0. And once I do the conversion, once I do the upgrade to the latest one, then what I will do? Then first of all, I will do the SAP HANA 2.0 database migration, DB migration. So once I complete the DB migration, then what I will do here, then I'll come to the SAP S4 HANA conversion. Very, very important. Then I'll go for the SAP. These are the steps actually. So SAP S4 HANA conversion. So this is the DB migration and this is the conversion here. So these are totally, there are 3 steps are involved in this. First one is upgrade. Second one is DB migration. And third one is system conversion. Here I'm going to be calling as a conversion. Very, very important. Now, the point number 1 to point number 2 is very good. That is nothing but you have to do in the year-end closing activity, which is acceptable. Very, very important. Why? Because the data structure between the 4.7 EE to ECC 6.0 is completely different. Because the table structures have been completely changed from 4.7 to ECC 6.1. This is very, very important. I should not do in the mid of the year. I should not do at the mid after closing of month-end closing activity. It has supposed to do only once I done the year-end closing activity. So after you complete the year-end closing activities, I have to do the upgrade from the 4.7 to ECC 6.0. Once I complete the upgradation, okay, then I have to do the DB migration. The DB migration is very, very important. As I told you, that database SAP HANA 2.0 is mandatory. If a customer is telling me that, hey, Mahesh, already we are in SAP ECC box. We are in enhancement package 7 or enhancement package 8. Okay, application is very, very good. You can do the conversion. I cannot do the conversion. Why? SAP S4 HANA application is only built on SAP HANA database. No other databases can be supported for SAP S4 HANA application. Your underlying database always should be your HANA database only. So because of that, it is very, very important that you have to do the DB migration before I start doing the SAP S4 HANA conversion. So DB migration is very, very important. Means your existing Oracle database is getting migrated to your SAP HANA database. So this, when should I do this? When should I do this? Is it compulsory that for this also I need to wait till the year-end closing activity? No. This DB migration you can do after any month-end closing activities. Once you complete your, I'm talking purely from the functional aspects, please, very, very important. You can do this DB migration from the Oracle database to the HANA database at any time. Once you close your month-end closing activity, you can do this DB migration, because this is not a completely technical aspect. So where I'm moving your database, I'm not changing your data structure here. I'm not changing your data structure. Data structure never changes when I do the DB migration. I'm just moving your container of Oracle database to the new container of SAP HANA database. Your tables, your programs, and everything will remain as it is only. No, I'm not touching your application. I'm changing the database from SAP Oracle to SAP HANA database. So this is not required any kind of simplification process over here. No simplifications have been done. If I do the conversion, then I have to talk on the simplifications. But here I'm not doing the conversion. Here I'm only concentrating on the moving from your Oracle database to HANA database. So this you can do at any time. But when you are doing the conversion, when I am doing the conversion from SAP ECC to SAP S4 HANA, when should I do this? This also you can do once you complete your month-end closing activities. Very, 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 very important. This also, what you had to do here is, you can do at month-end closing activities only. No need to wait under the year-end closing. So only when you are doing the upgrade from the 4.7 to ECC, this activity should be done in the year-end closing activity. Remaining everything, once you close your month-end closing activity, you can do this part. This is very, 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 very important. Very, 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 very important. Second point. Point number 2. Hey, Mahesh, already we are in SAP ECC. Yeah, we are already there in SAP ECC. Okay, very good. Now I need to come from the finance point of view. Finance, FICO. FICO. The major important is you should have the new GL. New GL is a mandatory, and asset accounting, new asset accounting. New asset accounting. Yes. Okay. Customer is telling me, Mahesh, we are already into the SAP ECC. Mahesh. Okay. So from the finance point of view, what is major impact? Okay. What I had to do here is, I had to execute the, okay, now I need to do the check that whether your system is on SAP new GL accounting and the new asset accounting. Very, very important. How should I do this? Okay. Now when I go into the system, if I don't have the new asset accounting, I cannot do your system conversion. Very, very important. This is very, very important. I'll tell you now. So if I EA-fin is the one of the business function. Make sure that business function is get activated before you do the system conversion. EA-fin, I'll tell you what is the EA-fin. So this is the one of the most important business function actually. Make sure that this business function is active in your system or not. If this business function is not active in our SAP ECC, I'm not talking after the conversion. I'm talking about the before the conversion, please. Make sure that your EA-fin is active. Why? Because if I just executed the simplification items, the system will throw an error. Your new asset accounting is not active. So the system conversion cannot be happened. One of the showstopper. This is very, very important. So very, very important. New asset accounting and new GL is mandatory. Very, very important. I'm talking from the finance point of view, please. New GL and the new asset accounting is mandatory for the system conversion from SAP ECC to SAP S/4HANA. So how should I do that? Okay. So I want to know whether my new asset accounting is active or not. So this is the business function actually. EA-fin is the business function. So you had to go to the business functions. SFW5 is the transaction code. SWFI is the transaction code. If you go to this transaction code, so there are some business functions you can see here. Okay, where these business functions are going to be very, very important. Make sure that these are the always business functions should be on business functions, means these are the required business functions. Okay, these are the required business functions which has to be get activated. If any of the business function is not active, you cannot do the system conversion from SAP ECC to SAP S/4. So in this process of here, okay, you can see here, these are all the business functions you can see here. So in this function, you can see here, this is the business function I'm telling. EA-fin. EA-fin. This is completely related to finance. This is completely related to the finance. You can see here, S4 core, Okay, ECC 6. Okay, this is the release of ECC 6 or 7. Okay, this is your FI. This is completely related to the FI. Make sure that your business function EA-fin is active in your system. If the business function is not active, if you put a cursor, you can see here, activated business function. Okay, until or unless if you're not activated this business function, okay, I cannot do the system conversion from SAP ECC to SAP S4HANA, even though you are on SAP ECC box. New asset accounting is mandatory for us. New asset accounting and the new GL is mandatory. Very, very important. So in this concept, if I take a customer, he is already with SAP ECC 6.0. Okay, now he is with the new GL. He is with the new GL. New GL is there, but still he is with the old asset accounting. But still he is with the old asset accounting because that EA-fin business function is not activated. Okay, he is with SAP ECC with old asset accounting. Then what should I do? First, you had to activate the step number 1. Here is activate business function EA-fin. Very, very important. First, you activate this business function first of all. Now you are activating the business function. So before you do this activating of the business function, make sure that you have corrected all the reconciliations between the asset accounting and the GL. Very, very important. Before you activate this business function, first one, I am writing the statement very clearly. Before you activate the business function EA-fin, okay, complete the reconciliation between asset accounting to GL. Very, very important. There should not be any reconciliation issues between the asset accounting and the new GL, that is the general ledger accounting. The balance of your asset accounting should be equal to your balance of your GL accounting. So there should not be any variation between the asset accounting balance and the GL accounting balance. Make sure that the balance, okay? I'll tell you what are all the reports you need to get executed. Okay, there are reports are there where you have to work on these reports to see the reconciliation between the asset accounting and the GL, because these now in SAP S4HANA now there is no concept of reconciliation process. Very, very important. Because of that, before you do the system conversion, make sure that your reconciliations are consistent between the asset accounting and the GL. So once I complete this reconciliation process, once I complete the reconciliation process between the asset accounting and the GL, then what the second step? Second step, I will activate the business function EA-fin. I'm going to activate this business function. Okay, your basis team will activate. Okay, otherwise you can also activate. Okay, you are going to be activating the business functions EA-fin. Once I activate this business function EA-fin, again you have to see the reconciliations. Check the reconciliation between asset accounting and the general ledger. Again, you have to start doing the reconciliation. Make sure that there are no inconsistency between the reconciliation between the asset accounting and the general ledger. Once you complete this activity, do the thorough testing. Once I complete this activity, after completing of my testing, then you can confirm that your EA-fin activation is completely successful without any problem. Once I activate this EA-fin, then I can hand over my system to the basis consultant. Until or unless if your new asset accounting is not activated, the system conversion cannot happen between the SAP ECC to SAP S4HANA. It is a very big showstopper for your conversion, I'm telling. It is a very big showstopper for your conversion. Now, my question, when should I activate this EA-fin? This EA-fin is very, very important. You have to activate once you complete your month-end closing activity. After you complete your month-end closing activity, you can activate this business function. Make sure that the business function is getting activated. You can see here, this business function should be get activated. So once I see, why? Because if I run my simplification item check, if I run my, there is a called as a standalone report is there. Okay. Once my basis consultants, before they start doing the system conversion, there is a concept called as a standalone report. There is a concept called as a standalone report actually. So what the basis people are going to do, they are going to execute this standalone report. Here I can show this report. I can show this. This is the conversion document actually. This is the conversion document. This is the report I'm talking now. Okay, simplification item check report. Earlier it was called as a standalone report. Now we are calling it as a SI check. SI check is nothing but simplification item check. Yeah, here you can see here. This is going to be called as a standalone report. Okay, this we are going to be calling it as a simplification item check. We call it as a SI check, simplification item check. So this is the report name. Okay, this is the report. Very, very important. So this is going to be called as a standalone report. So before the basis consultant want to check whether the system is fine, the system is okay to convert from SAP ECC to SAP S/4HANA, final touch. As a final touch, what they're going to do, they are going to execute this report. Okay, they will execute this report in the back end. Okay, so very, very important. So this is going to be called as a standalone report. Okay, this is going to be called as the standalone report. We call it as, okay, normally we call it as a simplification item check. From 1709 onward, this has come. Earlier in the 1610, when I'm coming to the 1610, there are different reports are there actually. Now they have consolidated all the reports into one report. That is the reason we are going to be calling it as a standalone report actually. So this is the standalone report. You need access for this. It is not easy that everybody can access this report. No, you should get an access for this, authorization for this. So this standalone report will be executed. It will take nearly about 40 to 50 minutes actually to run this report in the backend. You have to wait 40 to 50 minutes. So once the report activity has completed, it will throw the log. It will throw the log. In that log, it will tell that what are all the required configurations which are going to be missing. Very, very important. There are some required configurations are mandatory before you do the conversion from the finance point of view, from the SD point of view, from the MM point of view, like different function modules. It will give the error log. Okay, in that error log, we had to see, oh, what are missing? Oh, new asset accounting is not activated. It is in red color. Oh my God. So until or unless if the new asset accounting is not activated, I cannot do the system conversion. Oh my God. So that is where we can get this error. You will experience this error only when you run this standalone report. You will experience lot of errors, not only this one error. There are some important configurations, there are some mandatory configurations are there. If you not do that mandatory configurations in your SAP ECC box, the system conversion cannot be happened. So what are all the mandatory configurations I supposed to do? It will give the list also, don't worry. It will give what are all the missing configurations are there. So you have to complete all those error logs. Once you complete those error logs, then your box is ready. Then your ECC box is ready to do the conversion from SAP ECC to SAP S/4HANA. For this standalone report, you don't require any solution manager. No, not required. Solution manager is not required. You can directly do in your ECC box only. But whereas for SAP readiness check, you require the solution manager. A 7.5 to solution manager is required. But for your standalone report, no, solution manager is not at all required for you. Why? Because the standalone report is going to check the simplification item relevance and check of the system consistency before. This is what exactly I'm specifying. Before the conversion or upgrade. Okay. So this is the report which is very, very important. Once this report is successfully executed without any error logs, then you are okay. That is, you're completed with your this part. You're completed with your preparation phase. You're completed means your preparation phase has been successfully completed now. Everything is fine. Now you have to hand over the system to your basis consultant. Now they are going to do the realization phase from here onwards. So these are the difference. So it is not so easy that if a consultant is having a very good experience in the greenfield implementation so that he can go with SAP S4 on a conversion project. No, it should require very, very thorough knowledge in SAP FICO, not only in SAP FICO, it required very good knowledge in all the aspects. Then only the consultant can do the system conversion. If you have a very good experience in the system conversion, very, very important. Throughout the world, you have a very good report. I'm telling that, okay, you have a very, 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 very good experience. If for example, if I'm telling that, hey, Mahesh, do you have an experience in the system migration projects with the system conversion from the functional point of view? Yes, then you are going to be putting in a lot of weightage now. Why? Because I'm telling my dear friends, only 12 to 13% of the customers have been migrated to the SAP ECC to SAP S4HANA. 80% of the customers are there in the market. Till 80% of the customers are still there in the market waiting for the system conversion from SAP ECC to SAP. So in the coming years, in the coming months, you are going to get a lot of projects on SAP system conversion rather than the greenfield implementation, I'm telling. So make sure that, okay, at least you should have an experience in one conversion project so that you have a weightage on your resume, I'm telling. So I can explain all those things, okay, because I had done nearly about for 5 to 6 conversion projects as of now, still one going on, okay, that I told that Australian project is going on. So I'm just moving here and there. Okay, so this is about the conversion process. So these are the very, very important things we have to keep it in your mind before you do the system conversion. So this is what the system conversion is going to tell. So before I do your system, before I do your SAP ERP system of ECC to SAP S4HANA 1709 or 1809. So make sure that your system is compatible and make sure that your system is meeting all these 3 requirements. Any doubts here? Friends, any doubts?
Mahesh, so I want to ask one thing. So is there any, for the system conversion projects, you said you have a lot of scope, but is there any separate documents or separate steps you'll be sharing with us, or whatever you teach is enough?
No, actually, see here, actually I'm see here, but here we are only learning the theoretical part of the system conversion process actually, because the system conversion, I told that, okay, the 60 to 70% will be at the technical, only 30 to 40% will be on the functional. That functional documents, everything I can share with you, all of you.
Okay, thank you, Mahesh.
Mahesh, what is the T code for that business function?
What's the business function? That is EA-fin you're talking, sir. That is the activating of new asset accounting.
Yeah, you also mentioned that there is a T code for the business functions.
SWFI.
SWFI, okay. And the difference between the new asset accounting and the old one is only...
I'll give the references. I'll give because that is a topic which we had to discuss when you're coming to the asset accounting part. Yes, I'll discuss on that.
So
we
Mahesh,
have the topic.
Mahesh, this is Venkat here.
Yeah.
That solution manager that you're talking about, is it deployed on the same box as S4HANA?
Solution manager, sir?
Yes.
Solution manager is mandatory, sir. Solution manager is a mandatory. Why? Because if I want to run this SAP readiness check, there is a concept called as SAP readiness check. As I told you that custom code and custom migration, simplification item, what are the recommended Fiori apps, what are the add-ons, what are all the simplifications you have done. So this is where if you want to execute this, if you want to have this SAP readiness check should be executed, then the solution manager is important. If it doesn't have the solution manager, I cannot run this SAP readiness check.
Okay.
Mahesh, for business function, right? So is only one function cover all the finance criteria?
Yeah, no. It is not like that. Okay, so for the different concepts, we have the different, like finance, we have the control. For example, if I go to the controlling, we have the different concept like CO allocations, like CO assessment. So for every process, we have the different business functions. Like for finance, EA-fin is only the activated business function for activating the new asset accounting with the new concept. For the remaining, we have different concepts. So for parallelization part, for the parallelization, for what do you say, for the new currency introduction, where we need other business functions. Like that, there are a lot of business functions are there. But I'm specifying only EA-fin for asset accounting, new asset accounting.
Okay, and for the new GL?
New GL always will be the defaulted. So new GL will be the defaulted when you go for SAP S/4HANA conversion. No need to be get.
Okay, but is there anything we can get help? So is there any business function is not active? We need to activate.
Yeah. There are a lot of things. Okay, I'll give the list of the business functions for the new asset accounting with the new, for the new GL. Like parallelization, partitioning, for the document splitting. Okay, we have different. These are all going to be called as, see here. For example, okay, this is the new GL accounting. You can see here, sir. Okay.
Correct.
Yeah. Fins underscore GL underscore C1 like this.
Activate right before we going to do the conversion. Is that
Exactly,
correct?
sir. Exactly. These are the very well. See, sir, when I come here, these are the recommended. See here, S/4HANA always on function. See, when I call it as SAP S/4HANA always all functions means these are the very important business function which has to be get activated. Very important. If any of the business function is not activated in this list, you cannot do the system conversion. So these are the very important business function which has to be always on. There are some business function which should be you can keep it as off also, which is not required for the conversion like that.
And how you come to this place?
Simple, sir. Simple. Okay, so I'll tell you. Okay, there is a transaction code is there. We can also use SFW5. If you go to the SFW5 transaction code, SFW5. Just it will come like this. Okay, so you just click on continue. If you click on continue, just come to the always business, just click on this navigation path, you will get all the list.
Thanks.
What is this S4 core? What do you mean by S4 core?
Database.
No, sir. No, sir. It is application, sir. S4 core is application. ECC application. It's S4 core on application.
Application. All right.
Yeah. No database, sir. Please. No database. It is application.
So where do you actually activate this new asset accounting? If it is not
Here. If you come down, if you just come down a little bit, here. It is there here. EA-fin. It is in ECC box, not in SAP S/4HANA. Before you do the conversion in ECC system, it has to get activated.
Yeah, where in the ECC do you activate that?
Here only, sir. If you just select here, okay, for example, okay, here only, for example, if I show something like, okay, for example, these are the business functions not activated. Just select it and click on activate the changes. Here there is an option called as activate the changes. You need to click on this activate the changes. So once you click on, so it will get activated in the backend. It will take about 5 to 10 minutes to activate this.
So, Manish, what happened when we activate, right? The actual, what process worked behind this activation?
Yeah, it means new asset accounting, the logic, the calculation logic of the depreciation and the new process which have been enhanced from the ECC from the old asset accounting, the new asset accounting will get activated. Earlier, the depreciation calculation is based on the transactional level. Now in the new asset accounting, the depreciation calculation will be based on the number of transactions you have posted in the particular period actually. So like this, the calculation logic has been changed from the old asset accounting to the new asset accounting. So that activation should be required in the new asset accounting. So there are some changes are there if you activate. So that is very, very important for why? Because in our SAP S4HANA, new asset accounting is a mandatory. Why? Because we are doing the depreciation calculation based on the number of transactions you have posted in the particular period, not based on the transactional level.
Okay.
We'll discuss. I'm coming so one by step. We'll go very smoothly with discussing a one by step.